Hello and welcome. This is Aso TV News. I am Tina Oje Achu. The headlines. President Tinubu appoints Tunji Disu as Acting Inspector General of Police. Senate warns Southeast Development Commission against misuse of funds. A National Industrial Code commits 2 Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria officials to Kuje Correctional Center. And now the news in detail. President Bola Tinubu has appointed Assistant Inspector General of Police Tunji Disu as the Acting Inspector General of Police. This is contained in a statement by presidential spokesman Bayo Nanuga, which said the appointment followed the resignation of Kayode Batokun as the IGP. The statement added that in compliance with the provisions of the Police Act 2020, President Tinubu will convene a meeting of the Nigerian Police Council shortly to formally consider the appointment of AIG Disu as Substantive Inspector General of Police, after which his name will be transmitted to the Senate for confirmation. Upon his appointment, Disu served as Assistant Inspector General in charge of the Force Criminal Investigation Department, NX Alagbon, Lagos. He was promoted to the rank of Assistant Inspector General of Police last year. Before then, he served as Commissioner of Police in Rivers State and was later deployed by Egbetokun to Abuja as Commissioner of Police of the Federal Capital Territory. Disu is a member of the International Association of Chiefs of Police and a former head of the Intelligence Response Team of the Nigerian Police Force, a position previously held by Abba Kyari. Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, alongside former Head of State, General Yakubu Gowon, former President Olusegun Obasanjo, and Goodluck Jonathan, are to attend the commissioning and dedication of a 750-capacity Christian chapel at the National Assembly on Sunday, March 1, 2026. The Christian Legislators Fellowship of the National Assembly announced these on Tuesday via a statement jointly signed by the President, Senator Binus Yaro, and Secretary Mr. Bamidele Salam, and made available to newsmen. Other eminent Nigerians across state are to also attend the event, which marks a significant milestone for the Christian community within the National Assembly, strengthening spiritual fellowship among Christian legislators and staff. The non-denominational chapel project was initiated in May 2019 during the leadership of former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mr. Yakubu Dogara, conceived as a dedicated place of worship, fellowship, and prayer for Christian lawmakers and staff of the National Assembly. As the holy month of Ramadan takes root, the Office of the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has donated food palliatives to Muslims faithful both within and outside Abuja National Mosque community. The donation, comprising bags of 25 kg rice, was distributed to beneficiaries by the Palliative Distribution Committee of the National Mosque, headed by Ustaz Abubakar Sadiq Mohammed. Daniel Obi report.
The distribution aims to alleviate the economic hardship faced by Nigerians, particularly during the Ramadan period. Beneficiaries were visibly elected, expressing gratitude to the First Lady and the Office of the Presidency for the kind gesture.
Alhamdulillah, mun gode Ubangiji, mun gode wa mai wannan taimako. Dan mu ta taimaki al'umma sosai. Dan saboda mutum 1000 da wani abu ya amfana da wannan abu. Da kuma Allah ya ƙara mata girma da ɗaukaka, Allah ya ƙara mata imani.
Cikin da nake ciki shi ne alhamdulillah a cikin wannan watan Ramadan da muke ciki, kuma shi muna gode masu yamma da kuma matan shugaban kasa da kuma shi ma shugaban kasa abin da aka muna din nan Allah ya saka musu da alkhairi, inda kuma muka zo nan lafiya Allah ya sa kowa kuma gidansa lafiya, Allah kuma yanda muka dauki azumin nan Allah ka sa mu gama azumin lafiya.
Ustaz Abubakar Sadiq Mohammed, chairman of the Palliative Distribution Committee, thanked the First Lady for her benevolence, praying that Allah accepts her gifts and grants her prosperity.
700 bags of rice going to the poorest of the poor around Abuja the recipients today are not from the mosque. They are from outside the mosque. And many things are coming from Our Excellency, and more distribution, inshallah, will be done. News have gone round that there's going to be this exercise today. So everybody is here, and you can see we are exhausted. Yes. In this distribution, we gave one bag to 2 persons, and you can still see we have more to go. Yes.
The donation is part of efforts by the Office of the First Lady to support vulnerable communities and promote national unity. Daniel Obi, Aso Television News.
The people of Rubuchi have warmly welcomed their son, Honorable Danjuma Samuel Shekolo, the chairman-elect of Kuje Area Council, as he paid a courtesy visit to his country home following his electoral victory. The atmosphere in Rubuchi was charged with excitement and jubilation as residents trooped out in large numbers to celebrate his emergence and demonstrate their overwhelming support. Honorable Shekolo described the victory as one that belongs to all, irrespective of political, ethnic, or religious differences. The historic homecoming was marked by cheers, music, and goodwill messages from traditional rulers, community leaders, youths, and women groups who expressed strong confidence in his leadership and vision for inclusive governance. Speaking during the visit, the chairman-elect, Honorable Danjuma Samuel Shekolo, thanked the people for their support, prayers, and trust, assuring them that his administration would be people-oriented and development-driven community representatives. They pledged their total support and commitment to working closely with the incoming administration to ensure sustainable growth and development of Rubuchi and the entire Kuje Area Council. They noted that the unity displayed during the visit reflects renewed hope for a brighter future and a shared resolve to move the area forward under purposeful leadership. The visit ended on a note of goodwill, with residents expressing optimism that the chairman-elect's victory will translate into tangible dividends of democracy for all. Mekalangu Nadabo Campaign Council has commended a massive turnout of Amak residents during the just concluded area council elections held on 21st Saturday, 2026, resulting to the victory of Chairman-elect Christopher Zaka Mekalangu and his vice Yusuf Muhammad Nadabo. The campaign secretary general, Comrade Zakari Gambo, made this commendation during a press conference held on Tuesday, highlighting the victory as a testament to citizens' belief in the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in ensuring a prosperous society. Oluwa Pelumi Adeyemi tells us more.
Mekalangu Nadabo Campaign Secretary General Comrade Zakari Gambo Babali disclosed that the area council election victory secured by 40,000 citizens is not just a win for one political party, but a victory for every resident that believes in a better, more prosperous Abuja Municipal Area Council. He further acknowledged the commitment of Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) for their commitment to the democratic process, and also the security operatives for ensuring a peaceful and orderly environment.
On behalf of the campaign council of Mekalangu Nadabo Campaign Council, I stand before you today with a heart full of gratitude. We have witnessed a historic demonstration of democratic will. Your massive turnout and the overwhelming 40,295 votes recorded during the just concluded FCT area council elections have reaffirmed your trust in purposeful leadership and the continuity of progress. Our executive chairman-elect, Honorable Christopher Zaka Mekalangu, and his vice, Honorable Nadabo, are deeply humbled by the sea of earth seen at the polls.
Comrade Babali also extended his gratitude to traditional rulers, party agents, stakeholders, campaign members, youth, and market women for their unwavering loyalty in entrusting in the council's vision for a better Amak and the nation at large.
We also wish to highly commend the Honorable Minister of FCT, Barrister Nyesom Wike, whose capacity and leadership continue to transform the nation's capital, providing the template upon which we build, and also to the Minister of State for FCT, Dr. Mariam Mahmoud, Bunkure, for her motherly advice and motherly guidance. We appreciate her. As we noted during our Word to Word campaigns tours, we had your needs clearly, and all those needs will be addressed in no distance time.
The Mekalangu Nadabo Campaign Council commended the FCT Minister, Barrister Ezenwo Nyesom Wike, for his leadership capacity and continuity to transforming the nation's capital, reiterating their commitment to bringing more government presence directly into various communities through enhanced security, infrastructure, healthcare, education, and empowerment. Where Lumi Adeyemi, Aso Television News.
The Pro-Chancellor of Leadership University and former FCT Chairman, Secondary Education Board, Alhaji Dr. Yahaya Musa Muhammad, has paid a courtesy visit to the Executive Governor of Niger State, Umaru Bago, popularly known as the former governor. Dr. Muhammad was accompanied by Hajia Maman Shafiu, a member of the university's Board of Trustees. The visit was to formally introduce the newly established private institution located in Kuje and to brief the governor on its vision, mission, and academic philosophy. During the meeting, the delegation outlined the university's focus on leadership development, innovation, entrepreneurship, and character building, noting its commitment to contributing to human capital development and national transformation through quality teaching, research, and community service. Governor Bago congratulated the Board of Trustees and Management of Leadership University on the successful establishment of the institution, describing it as a significant milestone in the growth of private sector participation in education. He commended the leadership for its foresight and dedication, adding that the university's objectives align with his administration's emphasis on youth empowerment and sustainable development. In a show of goodwill, the governor assured the delegation of his readiness to pay an official visit to the Leadership University campus at a later date. The visit ended on a cordial note, with both parties expressing mutual commitment to collaboration in promoting quality education and development-oriented initiatives in Nigeria. The Caleb Danladi Foundation has sponsored the registration of over 300 students for the 2026 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination conducted by the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board in Kaduna State. The initiative is aimed at expanding access to tertiary education for students from underserved and rural communities. Subra Usman tells us more.
Beneficiaries receive full sponsorship covering their UTME registration fees, removing financial barriers that often prevent qualified candidates from sitting for the exams. The intervention forms part of the Foundation's broader commitment to youth development and educational support. Speaking at the event, founder of the Foundation, Caleb Danladi Pako, represented by David Took, the coordinator of the foundation, said the gesture was designed to ensure that talented young people are not denied higher education due to economic challenges. He emphasized that education remains a powerful tool for transforming lives and communities. According to him, the sponsorship reflects a long-term vision to empower the next generation. The initiative has drawn commendation from community leaders, traditional rulers, and religious leaders who described the intervention as timely and impactful. Some of the beneficiaries expressed gratitude, describing the sponsorship as life-changing. One of the students said the support has given renewed hope and motivation to pursue academic goals, especially for those whose parents could not afford the examination fees. The Caleb Danladi Foundation reaffirmed its commitment to sustaining and expanding the program in future examination cycles. Education stakeholders have described the initiative as meaningful contribution towards reducing inequality and broadening access to tertiary education across underserved communities.
You are watching Aso Television News. You can watch us live on DSTV channel 392, also on StarTimes TV channel 127, and Free TV channel 507. We are also on the UHF band on channel 38. Still to come, National Industrial Code commits 2 Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria officials to Kuje Correctional Center. Stay with us for details of these and more stories shortly.
Love pad, where love isn't just found, it's tested.
Along. I'm
Lines blur, desire takes over, and jealousy hits harder than any storm.
I'm jealous, and that's not something I hide.
Some find romance they've waited for their whole lives, and where there's love, there's bound to be heartbreak. In the love pad, every heartbeat counts, but in the end, who will find true love?
Many thanks for joining us again. Moving on, the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, has brokered a landmark agreement between aviation unions and the concessionaire of Akano Ibiam International Airport. At a high-level meeting in Abuja, unions including Air Transport Services Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, the National Union of Air Transport Employees, and Association of Nigeria Aviation Professionals raised concerns over workers' welfare and job security under the airport's concession arrangements. The minister's spokesperson, Tunde Moshood, in a statement said, after extensive discussions, both parties signed a memorandum of understanding guaranteeing job security and the protection of existing staff conditions. According to the statement, the agreement ensures no employee will be unjustly displaced in the concession process. The minister commended the unions for their cooperation, stressing that aviation reforms will not compromise workers' welfare. The statement added that the resolution is seen as a major step in the federal government's effort to modernize Nigeria's aviation sector while protecting public sector workers. The National Association of Aircraft Pilots and Engineers has praised the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria for its rapid and coordinated response to the recent fire outbreak at the Old International Terminal of Murtala Mohammed International Airport. In a statement, NAPE said the incident, which briefly disrupted flight operations and led to temporary diversions, tested the resilience of the country's busiest airport. However, the association noted that FAN's prompt activation of its emergency response plan ensured the safe evacuation of personnel, protection of passengers, and orderly management of flight diversions. NAPE President Captain Bumi Ginde commended FAN's Managing Director Olubumi Kuku for providing decisive leadership during the emergency. He described the absence of fatalities and the swift restoration of stability as evidence of preparedness and professionalism. While applauding the response, NAPE called for sustained investment in airport infrastructure, fire detection systems, and regular emergency drills to strengthen safety across Nigeria's aviation sector. The National Industrial Court of Nigeria, sitting in Abuja, has ordered the committal of two former officials of the Road Transport Employees Association of Nigeria to the Kuje Correctional Center for contempt of court. The ruling was delivered on Monday, February 24, 2026 by Justice O.Y. Anuwe. Correspondent Abdullahi Mukhtar brings us details.
The court found Mr. Erio Osakpangwan and Yusuf Ibrahim Adene guilty of disobeying a subsisting judgment delivered on October 13, 2020, which nullified Mr. Osakpangwan's claim to the office of National President of Britain and restrained him from parading himself as such. Justice Anoe dismissed a preliminary objection filed by the first respondent, which argued that the judgment had been nullified by the Court of Appeal. Speaking shortly after the ruling, Barrister Zanti Tamar Koles, counsel to the Road Transport Employees Association of Nigeria, RTN, shed more light on the judgment.
The judgment of this court is still subsisting and has never been set aside and has not been set aside. So any actions by the respondents after the judgment was just in violation of the court, and this also further upholds the order of the court, because once the court has given an order, anything contrary to that, this is what you get.
The court further held that despite being aware of the subsisting judgment, The two respondents continue to hold themselves out as National President and National Secretary of Region. Evidence before the court showed that they issued official letters, convened meetings, granted media interviews and published advertisements claiming leadership of the association. Barrister Zanti Tamar Kolais commended the court for what she described as a well-researched and sound judgment.
We thank the courts for, continuing to push us towards the side of justice, and now they're going to be, a bench warrant has been issued against them, and they're going to be serving their time at the Kuje Correctional Facility until they purge themselves to stop committing the contempt via an affidavit, which was delivered today.
Justice Anwe noted that the respondent failed to file any counter affidavit or defense against the contempt allegations, thereby leaving the evidence of disobedience unchallenged, emphasizing that court orders must be obeyed whether or not a party agrees with them. The judge cited relevant provisions of the Sheriffs and Civil Processes Act and the National Industrial Court Act, which empower the court to punish acts of disobedience. Consequently, the court issued bench warrants against the two respondents and ordered their immediate committal to the Kuje Correctional Center, where they are to remain in custody until they purge themselves of the contempt by complying fully with the court orders through sworn affidavits. Abdullahi Mukhtar, Aso Television News.
The former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai has asked the Federal High Court to quash charges filed against him by the Department of State Services. El-Rufai is challenging the competence and legality of the charges, describing them as an abuse of court process. According to a statement by his media advisor, Muyiwa Adekeye, El-Rufai filed an application before the Federal High Court seeking to quash charges instituted against him by the Secret Service. The matter is scheduled to be heard on February 25, 2026 before Justice Joyce Abdulmalik. In his motion on notice, El-Rufai is asking the court to strike out the charge on grounds that it is incompetent, discloses no offense known to law, and constitutes what he describes as a gross abuse of court process. Among the relief sought, the former governor is requesting an order quashing the charge in its entirety, an order discharging him on the ground that no prima facie case has been established, and an order awarding 2 billion naira in cost against the DSS for what he terms misuse of the criminal justice system. The Nigerian Export Promotion Council has reaffirmed its commitment to building a sustainable non-oil export sector capable of contributing significantly to national economic growth. The Executive Director of NEPC, Mrs. Noye Ayeni, stated this while receiving participants of Strategic Management and Policy Studies course from the Nigeria Army Resource Center at its corporate headquarters in Abuja. Speaking, the NEPC chief outlined the council's mandate and core functions, describing it as federal government's apex agency for promoting and diversifying Nigeria's economy from overdependence on oil. A statement signed by NEPC's head of corporate communications, Mr. Aliu Sadiq, showed that the NEPC boss expressed the council's readiness to extend its curriculum to the Nigeria Army Resource Center to broaden participation in the export ecosystem. She informed participants that the agency operates an export academy that has trained personnel from various institutions across the export value chain. Responding, the team leader, Professor Oke Ikechukwu, commended the NEPC management for hosting the delegation and equipping participants with practical export knowledge. He explained that the visit formed part of the course requirement for participants to engage key government agencies and access policy implementation as it relates to sustainable development and national security. The Deputy House Speaker, Benjamin Kalu, has urged West Africa to adopt digital payments and improve infrastructure to boost regional trade. Addressing the ECOWAS Parliament, he noted that trade among member states remain critically low at about 11%, blaming infrastructure gaps and excessive border delays, where trucks can be held for 14 hours or more. Moving beyond the stalled plan for a common currency, he advocated for digital payment systems to save billions in dollar-denominated transactions fees, arguing that digital shift is essential to unlock the potential of the African continental free trade area. Also, the call for trade reform was linked to the need for greater regional mobility, free movement of people for the AFCFTA, supporting trade and economic growth. ECOWAS guarantees visa-free travel and work rights under its free movement protocol. Challenges remain, including uneven social protection for migrants and poor recognition of qualifications across borders. The bloc is working on solutions like a biometric ID card and better labor data to create a more integrated market. And that's the bulletin, but before we go, let's take another look at one of our major stories. President Tinubu appoints Tunji Disu as Acting Inspector General of Police. That's the news. Many thanks for watching. I am Tina Oje Achu.